Welcome! Today we're unpacking what is easily one of the most fascinating and literally the most lucrative historical puzzles in American history. We are looking at the legendary Civil War gold train and those explosive 2019 discovery claims that brought this century-old mystery just roaring right back to life. Through this explainer, we're going to dive deep into the source material, the science, the history, and the secrets that are still buried underwater.
To really get why people have been so incredibly obsessed with this story for over a century, you've got to look at the sheer scale of the stakes here. $140 million. Yeah, that is the estimated present-day value of the Union Army gold that's supposedly lost at the bottom of the lake. I mean, when you have a number that astronomical just floating around in historical lore, it naturally attracts dreamers, historians, and, well, for sure, treasure hunters. So let's get right into it. Section 1, the 2019 sonar discovery and treasure hunters make their claim. Okay, flash forward to 2019. Two American treasure hunters, Kevin Dykstra and Daniel Lanser, hold this massive viral press conference. And their claim? It was simple, but absolutely earth-shattering. Basically, they said, we found it, and it's at the bottom of Lake Michigan. And look, they didn't just bring rumors, right? They brought actual data. Using side-scan sonar technology, they detected this really distinct object resting exactly 50 feet underwater. The outline was exactly 185 feet long, which is a silhouette they emphatically swore perfectly matched the dimensions of a Civil War-era train. For a minute there, it really felt like the ultimate proof had finally been found. But wait. Here is where it gets crazy. The most sensational claim of all wasn't just a sonar outline. Kevin Dykstra told the press they actually managed to create a small hole in the wreckage, slip a camera inside, and literally physically see the gold bars right there on their monitors. But, and this is a huge but, the massive catch here, that specific camera footage was never released to the public, right? So the ultimate, undeniable piece of evidence was hidden from the exact people they were trying to convince. Moving on to Section 2, the 1863 Civil War legend and how the gold was lost. So fully grasp why that 2019 claim was such a big deal, we got to briefly flash back to the peak of the Civil War in 1863. So according to the lore, a Union Army train left Fort Sherman in Wisconsin, completely packed with 2 boxcars full of gold meant for the soldiers' salaries. But as anyone from the area will tell you, Lake Michigan is notorious for its brutal, just sudden weather changes. As the train was traveling near the coast, this massive storm hits, completely damages the tracks, and sends the train plunging violently into the freezing water. The train, the gold, the soldiers, all completely swallowed by the lake. And for 156 years, the lake kept its secret. We're talking no official records, no bodies, and absolutely zero gold ever found. Which brings us to Section 3, State versus Treasure Hunters, the legal conflict. Now, you might think finding a 185-foot train shape on sonar would immediately trigger, a massive rescue mission. But nope, instead it ignited a huge ongoing legal war. On one side, you've got Dykstra and Lanser, who absolutely believe their sonar data is definitive proof. They filed a legal claim for the salvage rights and are fully ready to extract that gold. But then, on the other side, the state of Michigan has completely blocked them, flat out refusing to issue any excavation permits. The state argues that, hey, that sonar outline could literally just be an old shipwreck, and they are quick to remind everyone that unauthorized digging on the lakebed is strictly illegal. And look, the state's skepticism isn't just them being difficult with bureaucratic red tape. It's actually heavily grounded in this staggering number, 1,500 plus. That's the estimated amount of known shipwrecks currently resting at the bottom of Lake Michigan. It's basically a massive underwater graveyard down there. When you have that much debris scattered around, trying to identify one specific 185-foot shape is kind of like trying to find a needle in a very deep, very wet haystack. Any long, submerged shape on a side-scan sonar could so easily just be another old schooner and not a train at all. So the absolute crucial point right now is that this legal wall is standing completely firm. Even as of 2026, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources is maintaining a total zero-tolerance policy. They stated very clearly, any digging without a permit is illegal. And because the state hasn't granted that permit, the whole excavation is just completely frozen. Not a single piece of gold has been pulled up, and no train has been officially verified. All right, let's look at Section 4, the expert reality check, analyzing the evidence. With these two sides totally locked in this fierce stalemate,
independent historians and maritime experts have started pointing out some pretty glaring holes in the legend itself. First off, there are absolutely zero official 1863 military records proving a gold train even took that specific route from Wisconsin to Michigan. None. Second, like we just talked about, sonar imagery in a lake completely full of shipwrecks is highly inconclusive. It's just not enough. And finally, without releasing that alleged camera footage of the actual gold bars, the biggest claim of all remains totally unverified. Because of all this, the court case is just dragging on into 2026 with no clear resolution in sight whatsoever.
So where does that leave us? We've got a wildly compelling 156-year-old legend, a super tantalizing 2019 sonar outline, and a rock-solid legal blockade preventing anyone from actually proving it once and for all. So what do you think? Based on everything we've looked at today in this explainer, is there really a $140 million fortune just resting in the mud of Lake Michigan? Or is this just another historical hoax that perfectly captured our imaginations? Let us know in the comments by typing gold or myth. And hey, if you love diving into these hidden histories, make sure to subscribe, because next time we're going to be exploring the incredible true story of the Kentucky Hoard, where over 800 gold coins were found buried right under a farmer's field. You definitely won't want to miss it. See you then.